First tonight at 6, starting the conversation about police mental health following the unexpected death of a local officer. And 13 hours now until the polls open. What you need to know ahead of tomorrow's primaries in Wisconsin. That's straight ahead.
This is News 3 at 6.
Thanks for joining us tonight. The town of Madison Police Department is looking for new ways to get each other to talk about depression and feelings of suicide just days after one of their own died by suicide. Amanda Quintana is in the news center with how they're remembering Sergeant Jessica Fisher. Amanda?
Yes, well, Jessica Fisher spent her entire law enforcement career in the town of Madison. Now the chief who hired her and the entire department are looking for ways to honor her by making sure they hold each other up.
I'll be honest, I go out there and put my hands out of the car and pray a couple times that day. It's just gonna be very missed.
This patrol car, the only one Sergeant Jessica Fisher would drive. Everyone at the town of Madison Police Department knows this is her car, now slowly being covered with flowers to remember her.
When she came in, she was always happy, always smiling, and a joy to work with.
On Friday, the 43-year-old wife and mother took her own life after calling the dispatch center she'd been working with for 13 years.
It was a total shock to everybody. None of us knew the depression that she was obviously going through, and it was she hid it from us very well.
Law enforcement suicide isn't often talked about, but Chief Scott Gregory knows now it's more important than ever to get his officers a form of release.
More officers die by suicide than die from line of duty deaths, and that trend has happened and continued, even though on-duty deaths have declined.
The suicide rate is higher in law enforcement than the general population, some saying by as much as 50%.
It's a lot of bad things that we're seeing and quite honestly not really dealing with.
Many departments in the state, including the town of Madison, have chaplain programs, someone to talk to confidentially. There's also national resources, but for many of those behind the badge, reaching out is not easy.
Police are inherently the helpers, and sometimes the helpers aren't really good at taking care of themselves.
Something Chief Gregory says he hasn't really had to think about until now.
So the resources are out there. We just have to be able to get law enforcement to be willing to reach out and ask for help.
The chief is looking at developing some kind of program where spouses of officers can let someone at the department know to check on them if they aren't doing well. He's also stressing the other resources available. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, that number is at the bottom of your screen. It's 800-273-8255. And locally, Journey Mental Health has a 24-hour crisis hotline as well. That is 608-280-2600.
Important numbers to remember for those officers. Amanda Quintana. Amanda, thank you. 18 people are out of their homes tonight following a fire on Madison's west side. It spread to 3 units. This was at Greystone Condominiums on Cricket Lane this morning. Several other condos saw smoke and water damage. More than 36 firefighters were on the scene at one point. They did rescue 2 dogs from units there. It is unclear exactly how much damage was done or what caused today's fire. Madison police and firefighters will not be in this weekend's Pride Parade. The organization putting on the march made the decision to disinvite police last week. Now Madison Fire said they won't march either. Tonight, police will go over it more in a listening session downtown. Our Amy Reed standing by live there. A topic that has many folks upset tonight, Amy.
Yeah, many people don't understand this decision to exclude police officers from the march, but it's something they hope to understand in this very packed listening session behind me. This decision by Outreach has been brewing for about a year. The director said that he's been meeting with members of color and transgender members in the organization, and they feel marginalized. Outreach tried to make some changes, like having police out of uniform, but some groups still openly protested the idea that police would march.
We felt like we really needed to listen to the concerns of these people because they're the people that we serve. We don't want to be just serving a small portion of the community or, like the white clients. We want to be able to reach the most marginalized clients as well.
Madison Police Chief Mike Koval made a post about this earlier on his blog, saying he's disappointed with the decision but respects it and understands the complex issues at hand. UW Police said something similar, saying we are disappointed in Friday's decision by outreach. We respect the decision and we will use this as an opportunity to continue our work and commitment to outreach and other local LGBT groups to build and strengthen our relationships and trust. Now, police will still be security at this march that's required by city code.
All right, Amy Reed reporting downtown Madison tonight. Amy, thank you. We turn it over to weather now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joining us in the Weather Center. Still warm out there, Gary.
It is. It's been warm all weekend. The humidity levels are starting to creep up a little bit, and with time, we'll see another warm and humid day for tomorrow. As we take a look at visible cloud track, not a lot of cloud cover until this afternoon. Some cumulus clouds popped up. Watch the River Valley fog in southwestern Wisconsin earlier this morning. There it is, and it just kind of goes away. Also have a little bit of haze from the wildfire smoke out west, but you can see on Doppler track some showers and a couple of thunderstorms up in North Dakota. That's about the closest rain of any consequence. Low temperatures this morning started out in the upper 50s to the lower 60s. Here in Madison, we bottomed out at 63. High temperatures so far, mid to upper 80s, a few places even warmer than that. 92 in Black River Falls, 91 degrees in La Crosse. In fact, much of northern Wisconsin was actually slightly warmer than it was here in the southern part of the state. And temperatures are still in the middle to upper 80s away from Lake Michigan. A little cooler by a couple of degrees because of a lake breeze there. But dew point temperatures are in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees. So the humidity feeling pretty high. The heat index values right now upper 80s to around 90 degrees. By tomorrow morning, look for a little patchy fog. Otherwise, temperatures dropping to the middle 60s by morning. Tomorrow, look for a partly sunny, very warm and humid day. Just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm with a high of 87. That's your first alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. Voters will head to the polls tomorrow in the primary election in Wisconsin. While at the polls, remember you'll have to pick one party to vote for. On your ballot, you'll pick Republican or Democrat or third party. There are races for governor, 8 candidates on the Democratic side, 2 for Republicans. Lieutenant governor, 2 Democratic candidates, 1 Republican. There are also races for state treasurer, secretary of state, attorney general, and U.S. Senate. Madison is prepared for 60% of the city's registered voters to cast their ballots in the election. Tomorrow will be a very busy day in Madison, not just because of the election either. It's also move-out day for many people, especially chaotic every year on campus. Rose Schmidt is here with what you need to know before you vote. Rose?
That's right. The city clerk's office is preparing for anywhere from 47 to 60% of registered voters to cast their ballots tomorrow. Compare that to voter turnout during the August election in 2016 at 22% and even less than that in 2014. Most college students we talked to did not even realize there was an election tomorrow and say they're too busy moving out to vote. The city clerk says it might be difficult to get around downtown with move out underway, but don't let that prevent you from voting.
And if anybody is moving out tomorrow, they should know that it doesn't mean they're not eligible to vote. They just need to figure out, where was I at for 10 days before the election to establish residency, and then they would vote from that address.
And if you're not registered to vote, you can do so at your polling place tomorrow. And under state law, your employer has to give you time off to vote tomorrow, so don't let work prevent you from casting your ballot either. The polls open tomorrow at 7 a.m. To find your polling place and to find out what's on your ballot, head over to our website, channel3000.com.
Yeah, a lot of information there. Rose Schmidt reporting in studio with us. Rose, thank you. Another statewide race that you'll see in tomorrow's ballots, the Republican primary for the United States Senate. Leah Vukmir, Kevin Nicholson, both from the Milwaukee area, both hoping to take on Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin in November.
We need to send a proven, consistent conservative to Washington to join President Donald Trump, someone who's going to follow through on their promises.
My message that it's going to take an outsider to actually do something different in Washington, that's going to cut across a lot of different party bounds and everything else.
We have more information on many of tomorrow's races and candidates, as we said, at our website, channel3000.com. We're taking time to talk tonight about the impact that social media can have on a teenager or a child's mental health. We know it can really be tempting to simply cut your kid off from all of those apps on social media. Smartphone addiction is actually now a diagnosable condition. There are a lot of pictures and images out there telling students to look and act certain ways or be someone totally different than who they are. SSM Health therapist Britt Kuhlman says the comparison aspect of Facebook, Instagram, or those other sites can take a significant toll on a kid's self-esteem or worse.
There is research that indicates that the more time that somebody spends on social media, so the greater that usage gets, the more likely that it is to impact mood and more likely to have symptoms of depression.
We sat down with 2 teens who recognize the bad and the good in social media. We'll hear how the next generation of app creators wants to see out of the next generation of apps. We'll have that tonight. News 3 at 10. We'll also have much more from Britt Kuhlman up on our Time to Talk page. That's at channel3000.com, and why your child might seek out negative comments online and how to set those realistic boundaries. You'll be able to find that as well. channel3000.com/Time for Kids. More to come tonight at 6 when we return. A woman who just lost her husband is now hoping she doesn't lose another part of her family. Her search for hope. That's next at 6. Welcome back. This Friday, the final Bucky on Parade statue will be unveiled downtown. The Crazy Legs Bucky scheduled to be revealed at the UW Police Department 11 a.m. Friday. It's been listed as coming later this summer since the project began. All 85 statues will be on display through September 12th, so another month. After the art event ends, most of those statues will be auctioned off. An out-of-state woman who came to the Madison area for her husband's medical care is still grieving after his death. And within days of him dying, she lost another huge part of her life, but it's one she's still hoping to get back before she goes home. Our Madeline O'Neill has the story from Middleton.
It's been a while since Iowa native Sarah Tiger has been home. Instead, she's been spending much of her time here at Mendota Campground for more than a week, hoping for a change in luck.
I'm actually supposed to leave tomorrow.
Sarah Tiger is eager to make the trip home to Harlan, Iowa.
He was
after her husband, Jack,
a great guy,
died in the hospital on August 5th.
He's a giant teddy bear. He's a very sassy man.
He wasn't recognizing anybody. He was just slowly deteriorating.
One visitor brought him hope in his final days.
He didn't recognize his twin. He didn't recognize his parents. He didn't recognize me. But he recognized her, and his last words is my Hopey Hope.
His dog, named Hope.
She was everything to him.
Got loose from a caretaker in the Middleton area 2 days before Jack died.
She's everything. She's all I have left. And I need that connection with my husband back.
Sarah refuses to lose hope.
Big baby. Putting posters up, handing out hand flyers, driving through the neighborhoods.
With Jack's CNA, Cass Holmes, by her side.
To me, it's just what everybody should be doing.
She's doing all she can to bring hope home.
I have them posted everywhere.
After multiple sightings in the Mendota campground recently, a trap may be key in getting hope back.
I will meet hope eventually.
I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out my hope for hope.
Sarah says there's no going home without hope.
I'll sleep in my car till I catch her.
Sarah wants to remind any campers here or anyone in the Middleton area who sees Hope to not make any noise or chase her. Instead, just contact Sarah directly. Reporting in Middleton, Madeline O'Neill, WISC News 3.
Sarah also asked that no one else put food out for Hope. You can call or text Sarah. It's 712-571-9734 there at the bottom of your screen. We'll also have that number posted online as well. And still ahead tonight, the Packers getting ready for another Thursday night preseason game as they prepare to begin trimming that roster down from the 90-man roster. We'll get an update from Green Bay in a little bit in sports.
And in weather, expect one more very warm and humid day tomorrow with high temperatures in the upper 80s. Then showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday will cool us down a bit for the rest of the week. I'll have your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Well,
All right, Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joining us now. Another hot one today after that warm weekend. And as you mentioned, there's not really any rain anywhere around here either.
No, not yet. We'll have to wait until probably just a slight chance tomorrow night, but the better chances will come on Wednesday. Let's start out by taking a look at visible cloud track. A couple of things to notice here in these high-resolution satellite images from the new GOES-16 satellite are pretty incredible. You can see the valley fog here early in the morning, and then that just kind of fades away as the day goes on. Then the cumulus clouds popping up. There's that fog again. You can also see the haze from some of the smoke from the wildfires. It's been lingering around the Midwest, but looking at the rain part of it, those clouds aren't producing any precipitation. Showers, a couple of thunderstorms up in North Dakota. That's about the closest rain to southern Wisconsin. Temperatures tomorrow will be in the mid to upper 80s about this time. Look for heat index values to be in the upper 80s or into the lower 90s. But a cold front to the north and west starting to cool temperatures down in northwestern Wisconsin by tomorrow afternoon. And we'll see the effects of that as we head into Wednesday. In fact, look for high temperatures in the upper 80s tomorrow, but low 80s for Wednesday and Thursday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are likely on Wednesday. Thursday, just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Dry weather expected for Friday and Saturday with high temperatures in the lower 80s, and then we'll be in the lower 80s for Sunday, and then back to around 80 by Monday of next week with another round of some showers and thunderstorms at that time. Time lapse from the Platteville Queen Radio Skycam today. You can see that smoky haze in the air. Kind of cleared out a little bit during the afternoon hours. Just those cumulus clouds popping up. They didn't amount to very much, and just as has been the case the last couple of days, you start getting closer to sunset and those clouds just go away. There's the live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam, and you can see mostly clear skies in southwestern Wisconsin. The WISC Skycam looking toward the east, just a couple of clouds on the far horizon, and the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. Again, mostly sunny skies, just a little bit of haze in the air. The almanac for today, high temperature topped out at 86 degrees after starting out at 63 this morning, and right now our temperature is at 84. Winds are out of the west at 3 miles per hour. Dew point temperature starting to creep up a little bit. Now it's 67 degrees. As we check out temperatures across the upper Midwest, they're actually slightly warmer in the northern part of the state where high temperatures in many locations hit the 90-degree mark. Middle 80s here, a little cooler near Lake Michigan. As you check out weather track, there's not a lot of wind aloft to really move things along, but what wind there is basically coming out of the southwest, so that will start to bring in a little more moisture with time. For more showers and thunderstorms to the south, they're starting to creep northward, and as this cold front comes in from the west, most of the shower and thunderstorm activity is actually behind the front, but you can see in the vicinity of the stationary front more showers and storms because there's something to lift the air there. Look at the temperatures in the Dakotas. They're in the mid to upper 70s. That's about 30 degrees cooler than those triple-digit highs that they had yesterday. Our temperatures are about the same as the last couple of days. 66 for the overnight low temperature, mostly clear skies, a little patchy fog. For tomorrow, look for a high of 87 degrees. It'll be humid, just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm. On future track, look for temperatures to drop off into the middle 60s by early tomorrow morning. A little patchy fog to start the day. Tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, high temperatures, upper 80s. There might be a stray shower or thunderstorm in a spot or two. Tomorrow night, a little better chances for showers and storms toward morning with lows in the mid-60s, and scattered showers and thunderstorms will keep high temperatures down into the lower 80s or upper 70s on Wednesday. As we look at the 7 to 10-day forecast, those temperatures stay in the 80s, but at least the lower 80s with less humidity for the end of the week. Another chance of showers and thunderstorms as humidity comes back toward the end of next weekend into the early part of next week.
It's football season, but it's volleyball season too. The Badgers get ready to build on their successes. The story coming up in sports.
Hi, I'm Michelle Carolla. Tonight on the news at 9, more than a dozen Madison food vendors are participating in the 3rd annual Black Restaurant Week. That's first on Fox at 9.
News 3.
The Packers have another preseason game Thursday night at Lambeau Field, and Aaron Rodgers might play at least a little against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rodgers said today he thinks he'll play, so we'll see if that's true Thursday. It won't be long before the Packers start trimming their 90-man roster, so that means there isn't much time left for a lot of young guys to impress the coaches and get a spot on opening day. The clock is definitely ticking, and Mike McCarthy says there aren't a lot of ticks left.
Yes, there's not much time left in the training camp environment because, one thing about training camp, you're the opportunity to work, later into the evening, and those extra meetings are critical for the development of your young players.
While the Badger football team works toward its opener on August 31st, another nationally ranked team, Badger volleyball, is starting its season even earlier. Wisconsin's first match is a week from Friday against North Carolina at Target Center in Minneapolis. For the 5th straight year, Badger volleyball is ranked in the top 10 in the country. They're 9th in the coaches' preseason poll. The Badgers went 22-10 last season, making it to the Sweet 16. They're pretty young with 9 underclassmen, but they're focused on having another great season, whatever their ranking.
If I could steal a Wisconsin football slogan, nobody cares, work harder. I mean, it's just perfect. It's not what we train for all off season and all summer is for a preseason ranking, and it wouldn't matter where they'd put us.
High school football season is here. That means the Prep Mania Game of the Week returns for its 12th season. Our first live telecast is Friday night when Sun Prairie visits Madison Memorial at Mansfield Stadium. Sun Prairie made it to the state final last year. Memorial head coach Michael Harris makes his debut with the Spartans. We're live with the game at 7 on TVW and Channel3000.com Friday night. The Brewers have today off. They'll start a 2-game series against the Cubs at Wrigley Field tomorrow afternoon. The Cubs lead the Brewers by 3 games atop the National League Central Division. The Brewers and Phillies are tied for the 2 wild card spots with 3 other teams within 2.5 games. Did you see the end of the Cubs game last night? They were trailing the Washington Nationals 3-0, bases loaded, 2 strikes, 2 out. David Bodie knew he got it. A game-winning walk-off grand slam to give the Cubs a 4-3 win over the Nationals. Again, the Cubs are 3 games up on the Brewers, starting their series tomorrow afternoon. The Madison Mallards begin the Northwoods League playoffs tonight at Warner Park. It's win or you're out against the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders at 7:05. If the Mallards win, they'd host the winner of the Kenosha-Kalamazoo game tomorrow night at Warner Park. And how about this finish? The Wisconsin Timber Rattlers are the Brewers' Class A affiliate. They were down 2, had the bases loaded in the 9th when Burlington's pitcher threw a wild pitch on strike 3. Should have ended the game, right? Catcher chased it down, tried to get the out at first, but threw it down the right field line. And here comes the winning run, and he is safe. The T-Rats scored 3 on the play on a wild pitch, 5 in the 9th to win it, 7-6. They're professionals.
A wild pitch strikeout, too. Yeah. Unbelievable.
3-run wild pitch strikeout.
You didn't see that Cubs game last night?
No, I was working last night.
I know you didn't want to watch that. What a finish.
I had to keep the door of the weather office closed.
Summer goes by so fast. I mean, we already talking volleyball and football, and still feels like summer out there.
It does. Temperatures right now, mid-80s, 84 right now in Madison. The dew point temperature in the upper 60s. So instead of feeling like 84, it feels more like 87 degrees. And tomorrow, look for another scorcher. Temperatures in the upper 80s, lower 80s with showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday, and then more tolerable weather for the rest of the week.
Gary, thank you. Thank you for joining us for News 3 at 6. We'll see you back here tonight at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.